So I don't think I've ever talked to you about this because it's
Mhm.
a very random, trivial thing about me.
Sure.
But I'm a bit of a mug enthusiast,
Uh-huh. I didn't know.
like a
I did not know that.
like a coffee mug thingy. Like
Yeah.
I love coffee mug. Like I have a ton, but they're all like different. They've all like been from like either different things or like they've been gifts of their or stuff. But I have a thing for coffee mug. I like having like a lot, and I like having them like be all different. And then
Yeah.
when I have like visits over, everyone has their pick. I have one that's like I have a Batman one that's if you that it's Gotham City, and then if you put like hot water in it, like you can see the bat signal. Um,
I like that.
yeah, I have one that's like all the seagulls from Finding Nemo, and they're all saying mine, mine, mine. So I have a ton of mugs. This weekend, this past weekend, I saw the most beautiful mug that I've ever seen in my life, and here is where I have to talk to you about a business idea. We need to start monetizing the site because I need to buy that mug.
How
And
much was
just
the
because of that.
mug?
I haven't bought the mug,
How much
but
is it though?
it's not expensive. But I just want an excuse to like not pay for it. It's a very simple mug. It's a white mug with a something written on it, and it's in the font that the people in gangs use. You know,
Uh-huh.
you know which one, and
Yeah.
it says certified sick ass foo, and I need that shit. Okay. I need to wake up every morning, take my morning coffee, and then as I'm walking to take my morning dump, I need to remember that I am a certified sick ass foe.
I no. No, I will not allow this to happen. I will not allow this to exist. Chema,
Yeah. What?
you're wrong. You're you're
How?
you're so wrong, man.
Am I not a
You
certified sick ass foo?
you're not. You're not even in the top 10% of sick ass fools on the planet.
I've done pretty sick ass foolish things. I think I'm allowed to be certified on it.
I don't know, man. Look. How does one define the term sick ass fool?
Yeah.
What are the parameters of a sick ass fool? And more importantly, how do we reach that status?
I've watched Blood In, Blood Out like a million times. I think that certifies me a bit.
And I've never seen it once.
Oh my god, you failed as a Mexican.
Wait, what? Is that really a thing?
It's a thing, I guess, but you have to watch it with the Spanish dub,
Oh,
which
fuck you.
somehow makes it better. I don't know how to tell you that.
Uh, okay, so good news. Good news.
Yeah.
I've actually found the world's most expensive coffee mug.
Oh yeah. What is it?
It goes for on eBay $5,000. Oh,
What is it?
there's another vintage. It literally just says I bought the most expensive mug in the world. Maybe a business decision. There's also a vintage one that's going for 9,000. So you pay.
Um. So how about this? Rollback coffee mugs for merch, and at the very and but inside at the bottom, we write certified movie fools.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Certified cinephile fools. What do you think about that?
Where the fuck do we even start to make our own coffee mugs?
Certified cinephile fools is gonna be the name of the rivaling podcast that Fernie's gonna start when he gets sick of us. That's gonna be he's gonna
No, I
steal
will
it.
torpedo his podcast. I will personally make sure. I will do what WWE did with AEW. I will run our shows head to head with his to just take a little chunk out of his audience each and every fucking time.
So, listeners, what look out for our future coffee mug
Competition.
merch for certified cinephile food coffee mug.
Thank you for welcoming me onto your headphones. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chema, reviewing Luca. And
This is the rollback.
is the rollback.
So, dude, I wanna try this. So Luca, aka the spiritual follow-up to Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
I was gonna go with Calimari by your name, but
Fuck it.
Okay.
So Luca, do you have the synopsis, sir? I think you do.
Luca, prepare for an unforgettable trip. Two young boys experience an unforgettable Italian summer filled with gelato, pasta, and an endless scooter rides. But all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. They are sea monsters from another world just below the water's surface. So this is Luca. It's the new Pixar film. It was dropped into our Disney Plus accounts without having to pay anything. Thank you, Pixar. Thank you, Disney. And I can start or you can start. Because I think we both have strong feelings on this one.
I agree. Okay, so this movie was not initially so this movie wasn't initially made for Disney Plus. It was supposed to get a theatrical release, but fucking the virus. So this movie got released on Disney Plus. They didn't charge for it, which is weird because they charged for Soul.
They did not charge for Soul.
They didn't?
They did not.
And did they charge for Onward?
No, but Onward got to come out on theaters.
Okay.
Because I saw it in theaters. I remember.
Oh, all right. Is it just me or is Disney still kicking Pixar in the balls trying to devalue their brand?
I wouldn't look that into it. I mean, they're one and the same. So no,
I don't know, man. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, Pixar's writers are doing more and more jobs for the Disney brand studio rather than the Pixar brand studio. I'm thinking it's long term, fuck Pixar. That Disney's.
I think that's your wrestling brain talking. Honestly.
I don't know,
think
man.
It's that evil. No, okay. You know what? We're not talking about that.
Okay,
that's its own conversation.
That's fair. Okay, okay. If we want to have, I'll tell you what. When someday when we have a Patreon, we'll do an is Disney evil episode, and I will be the prosecutor. Okay.
TLDR, yes. Point is,
so sorry, Luca. So Luca, how did you feel? So
they're like Chick-fil-A. Okay. Last comment. They're like Chick-fil-A. They're evil, but their chicken is so good, man.
You're not wrong, but okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you. So Luca, I have a few questions. How did you feel about the movie?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's fucking wonderful. Okay. I think it's pretty. I think the animation is gorgeous. I think the characters are so relatable. And I love that after they did Soul, Pixar decided to take a step back and make a smaller scale, shorter. Bless the runtime of this movie. It's an hour and 20 minutes. It's so short. You can watch it in a sitting and you don't get tired of it. I think the setting is beautiful. I think the story is wonderful. I think the animation is popping, and it's so niche and it's so fantastic. This is one of my favorite Pixar films in years, and that's saying a lot with their catalog. I think it's a new. I think it can build up to be its own classic. I think if this movie has the wings and it has the legs to, people keep rewatching it, I think the length is going to help. But I think in a few years, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that the quote, the Silencio Bruno, I think that line can be as iconic as To Infinity and Beyond. I think it's that good. And I love it.
But there's not a cool action figure saying it every time.
I don't care. Silencio Bruno is bloody fantastic, okay?
What does it even mean anyway? Do you even know? I don't.
Silencio means quiet.
Quiet, Bruno. That?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Silencio.
It's not even Italian. It's Spanish too. It's the same word.
I see. I don't know. I don't. I have no clue. I'm off my game here.
Yeah.
But no, no. So this movie, so the animation actually was the first thing that threw me off, and then it got me to love it by the end of the movie
Okay.
because it looks like Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were Rabbit. It looks like stop motion style almost. Because certain Pixar movies have an animation style onto their own. They're smooth, they're very lifelike with the features. The manner in which they do this or that.
This is more of a cartoony design. I agree.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not necessarily a negative. It took a little getting used to from Pixar. Because especially like you saw some of the lifelike action sequences in Soul.
Yeah.
So for this movie to be like straight up cartoony, going completely in the direction, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it was a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
That said, the look of the movie really grew on me. I especially loved the ending title sequence. Like that was like its own piece of art. I was like, oh, this is nice. I want to keep watching this.
Yeah. Did you saw the little well, two things. You saw the after credit scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that because I love that character. He had such little lines, but he was great. And also at the end of the movie, there's like a little when all the logos start popping up, there's a little message that says dream. Wait, I took a picture of it. It says I think it said like something like dreamed at Pixar Studios and something California, but then it says dreamed up at Pixar Animation Studios, Emerald, California, produced in our slippers around the Bay Area. So they finished it in COVID, like all at their home, which I really liked. Sorry, you were gonna ask something?
No, I was gonna say. So, how did you feel about the story? I feel like it took the first like 10, 15 minutes dragged, and then after that, it was just like off to the races.
I agree that the movie starts when he gets out of the water. Because like at the start, I didn't love the start because when he's there, he's a shepherd. I guess you can say that.
A fish shepherd. Yeah.
He's a fish shepherd. And Luca, we were talking about Luca. So Luca is a fish shepherd. He's a sea monster. I guess you could call it a sea monster. I mean, I don't know if that's a derogatory term or if they have a right term, but anyway, he's a sea monster.
Sea person is the term you're looking for, Chema. Sea person.
Yeah, he's a sea person, and he's a shepherd for sheep fishes. And I was like, okay, cute. That's how it's starting. But then when we introduced to the parents, and the parents are like, it's dangerous out there. You can't go. I'm like, come the fuck on. I've seen this. This was in Coco. This was in Moana. This is every Disney film. Every Disney film has the same parents. And the mom is voiced by Maya Rudolph, who also voiced the mom in Mitchells versus the Machines, who also voiced the mom kind of character in Big Hero 6. So she's their new mom voice actor. I like Maya Rudolph. That part in Bridesmaids where she shits on the dress, fucking classic. And yeah, so we have the parents, and they're like, no, you cannot go to the surface. It's dangerous out there. They'll never understand you. And yeah, we've seen this before. But the second that he meets the other sea monster and they become friends and they start hanging out and they have all these visions, and that to me, that's where the movie starts. To me, that's where the movie not only gets good, but it starts amazing and it just gets better. Do you watch the little shorts that come up before Pixar films, like when we used to see them in theaters?
I haven't seen them in a minute. I'll be honest with you. I think the last one I saw was the one before Inside Out with the volcano.
Yeah. Do you remember there was one? I think it was for Brave or Cars 2, one of the two. And it was about this, it was this little short, no dialogue. And it was this boy, his dad, and his grandpa. And they're on a boat. And then they go up into the moon. And they just start like shoveling the have you seen it?
No.
No. Okay. It's in Disney Plus. It's called La Luna. It's the moon. And it was made by the same director. And you can tell, because it's not just the animation style, it's or the character designs. It's also like that way to use imagination and creativity. Those scenes where he sees the poster for the for the Vespa, and he imagines himself that he's flying or that he's going to all these planets. And then that scene when he's talking with the girl about the solar system, and he's imagining all these planets, that felt very much out of that short, and you can tell that it's the same director. I like the story. I love where it was going. I like that it was simple. I like that it was low key. You know, you and I mention all the time how we're tired about end of the world movies. This is the perfect antithesis to that, you know, because it's just kids having fun. And, you know, I like a good plot, but I will always prefer good characters over a good plot. I would rather have good characters and no plot. And then in this one, the movie just embraces the vibes, man. I love that it embraces the vibes.
They did a very good job. So they give us like obviously the fucking the parents that you expect or whatnot, and then you get Alberto, the friend, the one that kind of pulls them out of a shell.
Yeah,
and there's no real like hesitation. Like Luca hesitates momentarily, but he very quickly is like, you know what, fuck it, like let's go. And they have a good time. I love that sequence, you know, of them, you know, getting to know each other and really becoming friends. And you get those bonding moments, and it kind of takes you back to your childhood a little bit, you know, reliving those moments where, you know, you're just having fun. You're just being a kid, you know, imagining what's going to come and the future. A lot of critics praise the movie for having a bit of a throwback feel in a good way. You know, it made you feel like this was an old school movie in that sense, and I think they succeeded. This felt very much like a
Sandlot,
an underdog movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sandlot. Yeah.
You know what? Before watching the movie, the thing that attracted to me the most was that the director specifically said, "We're very inspired by Studio Ghibli on this one." Studio Ghibli is one of my favorite animation studios. You know, they did Spirit Away. They did a bunch of Miyazaki films, and this movie feels like a Ghibli film. You know, it's got that paranormal thing going on, but focuses more on the human side. It reminded me a lot of movies like Ponyo or Kiki's Delivery Service or something like Porco Rosso. Even like even the town is named Porco Rosso. Like it's too specific to be a coincidence. So yeah, if anything, I'm so glad that we have like something that feels like a Ghibli film again, and from Pixar, which I completely did not expect this, because they're kind of the opposite. Ghibli films are very quiet. They focus a lot on like specific scenes. There's one scene in Kiki's Delivery Service where she's just kind of like, she has her window open and she's kind of looking out and she's brushing her hair, and it stays there for like 6-7 minutes, and you don't mind because you're vibing there. And in this one, it's not exactly a Ghibli film. There is a lot of dialogue, especially at the start. But when you're there, and you hit the nail on the head. You know, it does remind you of what it's like to be a kid. All those scenes where they meet the girl and they're preparing for this race. Oh God, I love those scenes. It reminded me of what it was like to be a dumb kid, just where the biggest thing that you had to worry was just, oh, what am I gonna do this summer? You know?
What's it called? This movie, it did give a lot of flashbacks. Also, especially, and maybe it's just me, the bully. Give me a lot of
Let's
flashbacks.
talk about the bully. Yes.
Oh my God, what was his name? Not Orozco?
Yeah.
Iroko. Man, I wanted to strangle that kid so much. Well, I'm only 16. You said that last year. Fuck you.
Well, and like you said, well, it's true this time.
No, that brat. And
you know what's the worst part? You know what's funny? You knew a kid like that. And I knew a kid like that. And everyone you know knows a kid like that.
We all knew that douchebag that was like, that fucks with the kids that are like half his age because he knows he can beat them in a fight.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised he actually hit Alberto. Remember, he punched him in the gut. I was like, Pixar never shows them hitting each other. Except for The Incredibles. That's the only exception. I mean, come on. Fucking action movie.
There's my favorite character was the girl, Julia. She was so funny, man. She was so kooky and so crazy, and she had this like dream of winning that race. And when they ask her like, what do you get if you win? If you win, she goes, I get to tell people I won. Like that's the goal.
prize.
Like, yeah, I
And
mean,
the money.
yeah, I mean, she kind of doesn't care about the money. She's just like, I'm going to stand there and be like, and be just point and be like, I beat you, you know.
Yeah.
That's a very kid, centric idea. When you're an adult, it's like, do I have to go? Will they pay me? Will there be food? And then when you're a kid, you're like, no, you just do them because you just do things because you want to do them. And
You don't
she
weigh the
captures that
options.
perfectly. Yeah, you don't weigh the options. You're like, that looks fun, and I want to do it. So
Let's fucking
why
go.
not? What's stopping me?
She's a very optimistic person. She's very like lighthearted. Like she's everything you expect in a kid. Not a Mary Sue, but she's relentlessly optimistic. And I think one of the things about that is like she isn't just given the win. She's not just like boom, oh, she wins because main character. Here you go.
Yeah.
She works for it. They train for this. And even in the end, she doesn't win, but she just finds satisfaction in knowing that asshole lost. It's not about me winning, it's about you losing. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And she tackles him. She tackles him to make sure that Luca and Alberto can get away.
Yeah.
Obviously, it goes in a different direction, but no, she's relentlessly optimistic, and I appreciate that.
I really like the scene when they're kind of explaining the character, and then they say like, why are you gonna participate again? Are you gonna throw up again? You had to quit last time because you were throwing up. And then she like, with all the confidence of like a sucky little kid, she said, I didn't drop out, they made me stop. Which is a super little kid thing to say. Like,
I could have kept going.
Yeah, I worked at a middle school for a bit, and that's exactly how those kids were. Like, it's just like stupidly confident, even like, so completely unaware of like their limitations. Like, it was so dumb, and this captures that like very well, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was going to ask you, what did you think of the character Massimo?
Massimo was
the dad.
The dad.
Yeah.
The dad is the character design that most reminded me of that other short of La Luna. It kind of looks the same with like he also looks like the dad in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I like that. I love that when they did that joke of like he's missing one arm, and then they make that joke of like, how I lost this arm. It's like, you lost it in a fight. It's like, no, I was born like this.
No.
This is how I came into the world. What are you talking about? I like that. I think that is funny. I like how they carried him with all this like almost sadness in the background. Like, I thought for a second, maybe her mom is dead, but no, like her mom is alive, and they're like divorced or separated, and they show and they don't tell. They do it very, very subtly, and it's nice. You know what I like more than the dad? I love the cat. That cat.
Really?
I love that. That was a very Studio Ghibli cat. I mean, the way it had that judgy look, and I love this cat. I thought the cat was I love how the cat was like aware of like them, but cats don't fucking talk, so that it kind of didn't make any change. But it was so funny. Like I like how the dad carried that you want this, you have to work for it. You want to do this, come with me. We'll find a way to make it work. But he's also like a little worried. He's kind of like a little bit less than Luca's parents, because he doesn't want his daughter to compete because she's lost all these times, and he doesn't want her to not compete because she'll suffer. She doesn't want to compete because she's lost before. She doesn't want her to lose again. But he doesn't stop her. He just goes like, okay, we'll find a way, if you keep working and I keep working, we'll find a way to do it. Because, she's a little kid. He only has her for the summers. Of course he wants to give her everything that he can. That's a very dad thing to do, I assume. And I love the dad. What do you think of the dad?
I loved his character and his sweetness. I love how soft he got, actually. He reminded me a bit of Armstrong from Fullmetal Alchemist.
From Fullmetal Alchemist, yes.
And it wasn't just the mustache though, but it was also like the, what do you call it? Like the big teddy bear vibe. You know what I mean? Like hulking figure, but also has a bit of a heart of gold. When Luca and his daughter, whose name I should probably know,
Julia.
Julia. Sorry, thank you. When Julia and Luca tell him that Alberto's gone, and he tells him like, "Do you know where he's at?" Like, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go find him.
he immediately is like this is my daughter's friend. I have to go
Yeah,
find him.
like he's a kid. Like he's a good kid. Let me go find him. He
Yeah,
has a heart, and especially at the end. Spoiler alert, folks. He takes in Alberto. Alberto, he's such a tragic figure, and it's hard. Let me get back to the dad in a sec.
yeah,
So Alberto, when he meets Luca, he's overly confident. He's one of those kids that's just like, oh, I know the world. And
yeah.
you find out towards it's the middle to end of the movie, he's been waiting for his dad for seemingly a year at least, if not possibly longer. His dad left him, and he was left to fend for himself. He was on his own. That's why he clung to Luca so quickly, so fast, so hard, because, mate, like, you're all I have in this world,
Yeah.
And in the end, Luca goes on his journey, which we'll talk about in a moment. But in the end, he finds the father figure in Massimo. He takes him in and he says, "No, you can stay with me. We'll work together. We'll live together. All." Essentially, he becomes his father figure, his father. And that melted my heart. That melted my heart more than almost as much as that goodbye. But like the fact that Massimo took him in was like, yeah.
You know what? There was a part of me that was like, Luca had this journey of from unawareness to having a dream to immediately changing that dream. He wanted this Vespa and he wanted to travel the world with Alberto. But then when he found out about school and about the outside world, he was more interested in that. And because the movie's called Luca, and because we're following Luca's journey, he's being chased by his parents and he wants to win this race so he can get this Vespa. I kind of not neglected, but didn't pay as much attention to Alberto's journey. And now that you mentioned it, I like this movie more now. It's I kind of didn't. It didn't clock in with me that Alberto's journey also like closed there, like because he was in a way looking for a father figure,
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. That did not cross my mind. It's fuck. Okay.
Yeah, that gets a little more in the feels now, don't it?
Yeah. Now everyone's journey, it closes out. It ends. Yeah. Okay, I like this movie more now.
Chema just had a big, that mind blown gif myth lift. Yeah, he just had that.
Yeah, I just damn, I did not consider that. No, yeah, good. Well done.
So also this movie does a good job, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does a good job of like the classic the classic story trope that Pixar uses a million times where they give you a satisfying ending, but it's not necessarily the ending that you wanted, like at the end of Toy Story 4, Woody leaves, life goes on. He doesn't
I can guarantee you nobody wanted that. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. But like there are other movies or like what are some movies where they lose in the end? Fucking Batman's Bears.
I think one of my favorite examples in Pixar is a recent one. So I wasn't the biggest fan of Onward, but I loved how they had the whole structure of like this kid wants to meet his dad because he never met his dad, and then he doesn't get to meet his dad, but he has this self-realization moment where he's like, "Oh, I didn't have a dad, but I always had my brother. Everything that I wanted to do with my dad, I did it with him." And then he doesn't get to meet the dad, but the brother gets to meet the dad, and then he just, they have like that little connection. You don't get what you wanted, but you get something that you better. You get something that you didn't know you wanted. And Pixar is, the best at doing that. And they do it again here. You want these two boys to kind of have their adventure and run away together. They don't get that, but in a way they both get something they didn't know they wanted. He got a father figure and he got a, standard European education. Yeah, win-win,
Win-win. No,
yeah.
so So you remind me of that. There's a quote from one of the, I think it's the first episode of House, maybe even. They quote a song, him and Cuddy, and House tells her, you can't always get what you want, and then she replies, yes, but just further research. And it turns out if you try sometimes, you get what you need.
Yeah.
You know that song, you can't always get what you want, but if you
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that. So Pixar embodies that, I think, to a T, because a lot of their movies end in that manner. You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. This movie was very much that epitomized. Luca, he wanted a world of adventure. He wanted education. He wanted to learn. He wanted to grow. He wanted to see the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I no doubt, they'll go on their adventures eventually, whatnot. There was a topic, and I can cut this part, by the way, if you disagree on this, or if we should even mention this. Some people were shipping Luca and Alberto. And does that sound right to you? Because there were some people that were advocating for it. I don't know if they're too young or...
You, my friend, have not spent as much time on the internet as I have for you to find this odd.
But I'm like, is it? I've only seen it mentioned once, so that's why I'm like, is this a thing, or I check in? There are certain people that I have in my life that I'm like, hey, I heard this thing. Is this a cultural topic? And in this case, I go to you.
So a couple things. One, this movie, before it came out, when we just saw like a trailer, every person that I know was like, oh, this is Pixar doing Call Me by Your Name, the movie Call Me by Your Name. Mm-hmm. And because it's also about two young boys in Italy. And have you seen it?
No.
Have you heard of it?
It's vaguely familiar. I'm pretty sure you've probably told me about it, but no, I can't say that.
So it's about these two boys, Elio and Oliver, Timothy Chalamet, and the guy who was twins in The Social Network, the Lone Ranger. What's his name? That guy. Anyway, it's them two. There are two young boys. They're in Italy, and they get into a heated a romance. And it became like a very cultural touchstone film. It was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. I think the movie's good, but because of like the vibes and everything, people were like, "Oh, is this gonna be like Pixar doing Call Me by Your Name?" Because it's two Italian young boys vibes in the summer. They're kind of dressed the same. I think that was the first comparison they made. So we're like, are they going to be gay? that was like the first thing that they touched. I think they're kids, and that doesn't really like count as anything. I just think that they're kids. I think if they had introduced like a romance thing, I don't think it would have affected the story either way, like either position. I think. While I do agree that there needs to be more gay representation in media, especially animation, especially in media that's aimed towards the whole family, I also think that two boys hanging out and being friends and being close with each other and being open with each other and being soft and sweet with each other should also be normalized, even when they're not in a romantic relationship, because men are usually portrayed in a very rough manner. And I think this is good. I think it shows that boys can be friends without, and they can be kind to each other. They can be sweet to each other, and they don't need to exactly either be in love or they have to be like in hate with each other. I agree with both sides. I think we do need more gay representation, but I also agree that we need to show boys being kind to each other in media. And I think in this one, the fact that they're open with each other, the fact that they hug, the fact that they're allowed to cry with each other, I think it's good. I think it's good representation. Was I disappointed that they weren't gay? Not really. I kind of I will find that media in like media that wants to portray that. And right now, I don't think Pixar is interested in that. I don't think Disney is interested in that, to be completely honest. I don't think they're doing a really good job with what they're doing so far. And with this one, yeah, I do see the comparisons, but I think it's mostly the fact that people saw Call Me by Your Name and they saw this movie, which kind of feels the same. And it's kind of like when Coco was announced after Jorge Gutierrez made that other movie, the Book of Life, and they were like, "Is this the same movie as in Book of Life?" No, it's just another movie about the same subject. So I understand where what you're talking about came from, but I don't think it's that deep. I think it's just kids and they're just having fun.
So this is one of those cases why are the curtains blue? Because they're fucking blue. That's why.
Yeah. I think this movie is simpler than people believe. I think the more complex comparison that I've seen is that people are saying that this is Plato's the allegory of the cave, which I think is a great thing to start making kids understand, make them think about philosophy. I think that's a way more interesting topic, to be completely honest. But I also think that this is a very simple premise and a very simple movie, and it's kind of joyous in how simple it is, and it allows every other detail to float and be way more noticeable. That I think we're making a disservice by overthinking this movie. I think this movie is better enjoyed as just enjoy the vibes. Look at the pretty colors, look at the sweet story, look at the nice characters, look at the funny scenes. And movies don't have to be Inception. They don't have to be overcomplicated things to be, or dark or brooding to be enjoyable. I think this is an extremely enjoyable little fun film for everyone. Like, I cannot think of someone who won't like this movie unless you hate, fun.
I'm sure those people exist.
Yeah, but I don't want to hang out with them. Like, I don't care for them. I think kids will like this movie. I think parents will like this. I think grandparents will like this movie. I think everyone will like this movie. It's truly for everyone.
You know what part really kind of got me? When the grandma covers for him the very first time he goes out, and she's like, "Oh, I sent to go get cucumbers, Mom. You know better." And it's Luca's like, "Thank you." Who amongst us has not had like a relative cover their ass without question?
That's the relative I want to be.
I remember me and my sister Emily. We used to when we could, we would steal the report cards at the end of the 6 weeks. We would get them for each other. Like, I would go check and she would go check. And if I didn't find mine, but I found hers, I'd hide it.
Oh my God.
We were a team. Chema.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of want, and I love how the grandma at the end, like the grandma comes up to the surface and she's like, "Mom, what are you doing here?" It's like, "I'm here every weekend."
Where do you think I go? Like, we're a fish. We're sea people. Where do you think I go on the weekends? Yeah. Oh, and I love the gelato. I love the fact that like the two old ladies that were eating it, they're like, fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Fish people too. Fucking gelato for everybody.
I like how the town is so small that you could recognize like every minor character. Like you could recognize those two. You could recognize like this little family. You could recognize the priest that was also there.
Those three kids. The one that got pushed into the water by the fucking dad. Let's go. He's like, oh God.
Yeah. I like that because the small setting helped you get used to everything. It kind of like let you know where everything is, even though you're spending time in this little plaza at the front. Man, I love this movie. I don't know if it's my favorite of the year, but it's probably top 3.
It's definitely a feel-good movie. And there's been a lot of that lately, and that's not necessarily a negative. The Mitchells versus the Machines was another one that I'd say, was very much a feel-good, triumph. It's an underdog movie where it's like literally, the trope of underdog. That's what the fucking team is. The three of them.
Yeah, I love when she goes, yeah, we're underdogs, and then they go like, we're under a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. They don't know how to talk.
Well, and Julie, she's like a pure soul, like just like really innocent. Like, no, it's gonna be okay. She stands up for them when she has no reason to. When that douchebag is being rude.
Yeah. Oh man, I have nothing but praise. I have nothing but praise, man. Really, like it's this movie is like these kind of movies make our job like kind of both harder and easier. No, both harder and easier because I'm like, I can sit here and tell you that I love it, but this might be one of the few times where I don't really have anything to criticize. Like it's just I think it starts a little slow, but I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, you know what? It's been 15 minutes. I'm gonna turn it off and watch Mandalorian. Like no one like I would have loved to have seen this in the theater though.
I think
especially right now. It's summer. It's a perfect movie to watch in the theater.
Yeah.
Like
oh man. I don't know. I think you're right. It's hard to find something to criticize about this film. Maybe the very beginning, because I can openly tell you, like, the first, like, 10, 15 minutes felt like a chore. Like, oh, God, again with the parents and the da-da-da-da. But then the thing is, when the movie got going, it got going quick. And I appreciate that. No, there's not too many things. Apparently, there is talks already of a possible sequel. One idea that was actually pitched was the three kids trying to get Massimo and the wife, his ex-wife, I guess, back together, Parent Trap style.
I was about to tell you, like, are they going to Parent Trap it?
Yeah, apparently that's actually, and apparently a lot of people who worked on this film are completely open to doing it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't see it. Where's my Inside Out sequel? That's the sequel I want. This is I don't know. I'd rather. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, if they make it work. I don't know. Toy Story didn't seem like a movie that needed a sequel, and it was amazing. And then it worked again, and then it didn't. And I don't know. I can see them doing shorts. I can see them, doing like online shorts or something. But I don't know about a sequel. I think also the fact the movie's pretty short kind of helps.
It breezed through, actually. You're right.
Yeah, it's an hour and 20 minutes. It's super short. And also everything gets solved pretty quickly. So there's no time to like sob or sulk in like unnecessary scenes. I think the movie's the perfect length. Oh God. If they make a sequel, of course I'll watch it. Yeah. But I don't think it needs it. And if we've learned from this and from Soul, is that Pixar is getting its groove back by doing more originals. So if they want to keep doing originals, I'm going to keep watching them. So bless you. And
that was actually Nikki.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, so what did you think? So last thing, before we get to final thoughts, what did you think of the goodbye scene? Because that actually was a big punch for me.
It reminded me of like the end of Persona 4. Only like 6 people are gonna get that.
That's good. Only 6 people ever listen to these podcasts.
It's all gonna change when we release those mugs. I'm telling you, it's all about the merch.
We love you all.
We love you all 6 of you. There's a. No, I like the goodbye scene. It's nice. It's sweet. It's kind of like wrapped up a little too perfectly, kind of like the ending of Soul, where he's like, "Okay, I guess I'm gonna die," and then they're like, "Oh no, we're not gonna let you die." And then in this one, it's like, "Okay, I guess this is goodbye." "Oh no, you're gonna go." It's like, but then they throw a double whammy, like, "Oh, you're gonna go, but I'm gonna stay," and then we'll link up later. I mean, they don't really explain what year is it, which is something that I also like.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are no cell phones, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but you don't. This could be the 70s. It could be the 80s. It could be the 90s. It could be, be any time. Like it's so frozen in time. It's timeless in its own way.
Yeah,
like, you can watch this in 20 years and nothing gets old. If Vespa still exists, I guess, which is the only like brand. But everything else is just, it's kind of timeless. Like it's I don't know. It's kind of perfect. Like it's a kind of close to perfect. Yeah.
It's a snapshot, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a snapshot in time, which I appreciate that. I like that. I enjoy that.
Yeah. What do you think?
Of the ending or overall?
Overall, the ending, anything you want to focus on?
Animation threw me off a bit, but I learned to like it really fast. First like 10, 15 minutes, meh. After that, it got going. I'd recommend it. I'd recommend it definitely for kids, for parents. Like, this is not going to be one of those movies that's a chore. This is not like, what's that crappy one that Beyonce did with nature?
Life.
Life? Is that the one?
Yeah,
the one when they're like warriors or whatever, the Pixies or something?
The one where Aziz Ansari plays a sea slug.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So that it's better than
Epic.
that.
It was called Epic. It was
Epic.
called
Thank
Epic.
you. God, what a fucking waste of a decent title. So yeah, no, it's not one of those crappy pieces. It's not one of those movies where parents are gonna hate it. Like it's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
With a good message. I'd recommend it. How about you?
I liked it. I do agree that it's I don't know. The last time I watched a movie about two Italian boys and one of them was staring at a fire, I did not. I had to. I cried a lot. And this one was more of a happy one. You know, it's good. It's not good. It's fucking fantastic. Like this is a super pretty film that we don't even have to say its prices. It's Pixar. It's free on Disney Plus. You're gonna watch it. I mean, it's we can if we can count on like one thing happening in this year is that people are gonna watch this movie, and it might be I'm so sad for Mitchell's versus the Machines because now this might be the lock for the Oscar next year. Oh God, I hope the Mitchells pull through because I kind of still like Mitchell's versus the Machines a little bit more. It's not a competition, but I kind of still like the movie a little bit more. But this one, it's great. It's kind of it does a great little if you watch Soul and then you watch this, your spirits you're gonna be lifted like high up. You're gonna feel ready to like apply for jobs and like I don't know, maybe move out of your parents' house. Like it's just such a good, sweet, heartfelt little film, and it deserves all the praises that it's get. This is what I talk about when I say that you don't need to make films complicated. This is simple in its purest of forms, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I watched it once, and I will watch it again. Watch it with your families, watch it with your friends, watch it with everyone. This is a movie to watch, and if they put it on theaters, I might break my own rule and go to the theater and watch it. But oof, it's a good one, man. This is a good one. Pixar, rarely disappoints, and this is a home run.
So, what would you give it score-wise? I don't think you give it a score.
I give it a good 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, okay, I can respect that. I'd probably give it like a B.
Seriously?
B plus. No, but I consider that a positive. Like an A is a home run. For me, this is pretty good. I like it.
Not even an A minus. Not even there.
I think I need to sit down and actually like go through like what movies have I scored? Because to me, a B is pretty good.
Okay.
C is dragging ass. D is like,
If DC would have released this, you would have given like AAA.
DC. If this had been a DC movie about the origins of Aquaman, probably I'm not gonna lie to you, like an A plus.
I'll say this out loud. This was better than Aquaman, which is not saying.
Shit, hey, it broke $1 billion, right?
Yeah, well, so did the Twilight movies. No, you can't come back from that. You can't come back from that. You can't.
Jeez, my earpiece fell out, but no, I can't come back from that.
Yeah, come back from that.
I got nothing. Well, why you gotta get so hurtful?
Sometimes you gotta hit it when it hurts. That's it.
Hate you.
Yeah. Well, Luca is great. Watch it. That's literally all I can tell you. It's fantastic. It might end up in my top 10 of the year.
Entirely possible. I don't know if it will with mine. Mitchell's versus the Machines was still pretty amazing. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think I need to give it a rewatch.
I will say I like Mitchell's versus the Machines more, but this one's pretty darn good. Like this is eating a good dessert after eating a good meal. Like there's no complaints here.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good.
This is very much like a good garlic bread that goes with your dinner. It's like, this is pretty good. I like this.
Garlic bread is my favorite food. I could eat every day without ever stopping.
There you go. That's the dream. That's the life.
You're supposed to say you'd get fat, and then I would say, why would I get fat? And then you'd say bread makes you fat, and then I would say bread makes you fat, and then
boo! Crowd, everyone boo this man. And There's the effect.
Your boosts mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Okay, Rick. Okay. Wait, I'm getting a call from Nikki. Hold on. I'm gonna answer this.
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended car warranty.
Sorry about that. All right. To the credits.
If you're listening to us on YouTube, you can follow us on any of our links down below.
If you're listening to us via podcast, please like, subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. We're trying to grow the channel. I'm sorry, the podcast. Yeah, just like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. We appreciate that.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to hear more about our thoughts on movies, go to therollback.net. I've been Chema.
And I've been Eddie. And this was The Rollback.
Signing off with a reminder that young adult novels can be enjoyed at any age.